Hey guys, so I don't know. I'm just gonna let this record and see where it goes. Um, got some music playing in the background here, so if something seems like it's on a little bit of timing, it's because I'm listening to a little bit of NF. Where is the world right now? You know, we're in a dangerous spot because we've gotten ourselves to the point where nothing is safe, really. Like, and that's a generalized statement. That's not like a targeted anything that you think isn't safe anymore isn't safe. It's just that things aren't safe anymore. Whether it be technology, because everything's moving so fast, your job, because people are gonna be replaced by robots shortly. Whether that's kids in schools, man, whether that's the kids in the Middle East who are getting, little girls specifically, who are getting acid dropped on them simply because they're girls and they want to go to school. We're not safe anymore, and it scares me sometimes because I've wanted for the longest time to be a dad, to raise a kid, to be married. Like, that's just on my heart, and like, when I say that's on my heart, I mean, like, it's like that's part of what my being wants. I want that, like, amazing intimate relationship that I get to cultivate for the rest of my life. And that doesn't mean I'm perfect at it. I mean, like, I've had plenty of intimate relationships where I've royally screwed up. Like, I've broken things that should never have been broken. I've made promises I never should have made in the first place, etc., etc., etc. But I feel like what we need to do as a people, and I'm saying this as a royal we, like everybody, ignore my fundamental Christian beliefs and understanding of relationships and whatnot in some sense, but start with the fact that each and every person that you meet has the ability to do the same thing as you, and the other way around. Like, you just haven't been put in the position or been put through certain circumstances to put yourself in the position to do exactly that. Like, people, I'm going to quote a little bit of Jordan Peterson here. People look at history and put themselves in the position of the victim and never as the perpetrator. And if you don't understand that you could, at some point, whether by virtue of purposeful descent into it or by an accidental set of circumstances, become the perpetrator of the violent nature and disgusting humanity of history, that I really don't think you understand the capability that you hold inside yourself to be both absolutely good and absolutely evil. So I'd suggest to you that in this time of insanity, where restraint is being, like, removed all over the place, left and right, kids are wanting to be famous, but they're so disillusioned with life that they're shooting up schools, where, in the Middle East, like I said earlier, we're having kids get acid thrown on them because they're trying to go to school, or racism is making it's rearing its ugly head once again, even after we thought we had dealt with it, whether that's by whatever other reasons, like that's almost irrelevant right now to the point I'm trying to make. But that in all of those things, don't forget that all it takes sometimes as one person to stand up against the storm and scream, "I will not move." Go back to Steve Rogers in the Marvel universe. I stand by the tree of truth. and I'm not moving. I'm paraphrasing it. It's not exactly the line, but that's where, as a people, we need to be. Like, find your truth, you know? Like, find that one little thing that you can die for. And not just would be willing to. And chase that. And that's never easy. So run. Run after it with all your heart. With all that you have in you. Whether that's a job, whether that's a relationship, whether that's just simply living sometimes. You know? And if you can't find something that makes you alive and breathe and feel excited to wake up for in the morning, go get help. Find somebody who can stand by your side, running through the gauntlet that is life, running through the death of everything around you, and you can still turn to them and they can be that beacon for you of grace and mercy and encouragement, because it's not always easy. I've been talking for 7 minutes. You know, just breathe. Like, it took one hell of a freshman and sophomore years in college, and destroying myself and ravaging the person I thought I was, and seeing that I wasn't it at all. Like, I was just a horrible person. Arrogant, self-consumed, like, ignored the things of other people while thinking I wasn't. It took me that. It took me getting humbled and beat down to realize that I wasn't who I thought I was. And that I had become the perpetrator instead of the victim of history. And I had let myself have this restraint removed. And I was doing things that I never thought I'd do and stuff that I promised I never would. And if you're at that place where you're really beginning to feel like you're really not who you thought you were, or you're doing things that you never thought you would, find people. Because people are the end game. People are the end game of life. Every single major change that's ever occurred in our world has been because people stood up and did something for something they believed in, and they were willing to die for it. Or at least accept the actual consequences of the action, you know? So it's scary. But allow yourself to be put in the position of the perpetrator as opposed to just the victim. So you can understand the power and the capability you have, not just towards yourself, but towards other people. Because when you do that, you realize how much you actually, each individual action affects everybody else in the system, in this game of life. So breathe. Find your purpose. Make sure you're not running to one side or the other on that path. Let yourself realize you can be a perpetrator, and then fix the tendencies that make you a perpetrator. Don't just stand idly by and let yourself continue to do that which is despicable and evil. Take accountability. and become better. And let yourself be a part of the good in this world and not that which corrupts and destroys, even through good intention. That's going to be it for today. Thanks for listening.